Hi, kindergarten. This is Mr. Henderson, and it's Wednesday, so that means another computer class. And for today, we're going to take a look at another link that we can go to do really fun ways to practice more skills with numbers, letters, shapes, and other things. And it's a website called Room Recess. Now, when we have an internet browser like right here where I have Google Chrome, you can do a couple of things to get to a specific website. First, I could type in a search by going and typing in the word room and then recess. Room recess. I could go ahead and type those two words, do a search, and then I can see in my results where it's going to come up as the website I'm looking for as one of those results, and I would click on this link for it. Or I could also know my website's exact name, and for this one it's roomrecess.com. And so if I type in the exact name, then I can go directly to that website. But let's say that's a little tough, that's a little hard for kindergarten. I have a way that I try to make it simpler, and it all starts with our school's webpage. So if you can have an adult help you get to our school's webpage, we can get to any of the websites that we use for class that we've used already, or we're going to use today, or in the future very easily. So on our school website, we've seen this before, but I'm going to use my wheel and scroll down, or if I was on a trackpad, I would move the screen down and look for this right here where it says Weymouth Portal, and it has a little image of a rectangle that looks like it's going to be a separate website. And that's because it is. So I give it a click, and it takes me to that separate website where there are so many things here. I don't even know the number, but I'm going to say maybe 100 to 200 different things. Now, some of them would be good for kindergartners to use, and some of them may be a little boring, a little complicated, maybe more for bigger kids. But I want to find Room Recess. And I look at these categories, right? Each one of these big boxes is a category. First, it says new links for offsite learning. Then it says computers and technology, and then math. Now, Room Recess is in computers and technology. And I'm going to look down, down, down. And I have a group here that all start with K and then have a name. And they also have a happy face by them. The one that I want is in this group. And I'm going to look for those words that I typed in before, room recess, K, room recess, a happy face by it, and click right on the letters. Now, this site's pretty easy to use. First, you can scroll down, and you can see pretty much everything that it has available. Okay, so Room Recess has tons and tons of fun games. Some of them are better, some of them are not, some of them are great for kindergarten, some of them you really need to be at the end of kindergarten or first grade, or maybe have learned a little more. So we're just going to take a look at a couple of them on this website today that would be pretty easy. First, we're going to look at Monster Color Match, this one right here, and give it a click. And when I first click on it, it's going to ask me if I'm using a mouse or a touch screen. Now, it should actually say mouse or trackpad, because if you're on something like a Chromebook or a laptop, you might be using the pad that you use to move your pointer around and do a click. So this really should be mouse or trackpad, or if you're on something like a tablet, right? So you can click either one of these, and I'm going to click mouse or trackpad because that's what I'm using. If you happen to be on an iPad, you could click this one right here.
Let's go!
And I'll let the music go for a second, but then I'm going to turn it down. And what we have to do in this game is we have to find some matches. It's like a memory game if you've ever played one of those with little cards or tiles. So first I see this blue monster, and then let me click right here. Oh! And it had the color green. I could have read the word, or I could have seen that that word was in the color green. So I know how I have a blue monster here and the word green here. That's not a match. Let's keep clicking. Oh, now I have a monster. And what color is he? I'm going to say he's black. And then I click the next door. Oh, pink. So if I remember really well, I had a blue monster, the color green, a black monster, and a pink monster. Let's see what I find in these doors. Oh, it's the word black. And if I wasn't sure about reading that word, I see it's in the same color, and I remember which one was it. This one. Oh, wait. No, it was this one. And so I made my first match. And I want to keep going and see if I can match each of those monsters with their color. Oh, where was that blue monster? Was he here? Was he here? Oh, I'm on a roll now. I get to my last 2 doors, and here's the thing. I know what monster's here. I haven't clicked on this door yet, but since it's the last 2, I can be pretty sure that I'm going to get a match. And I did. And that's something fun to do, and you could do it a couple times if you want, over and over, by clicking that go button, and it's going to mix them up every time. Now, I want to show you just 1 or 2 more, so I'm going to use my back button. That's a really, really important button in any internet browser, like this one, Chrome. And that back button is going to take me back to the page before this, and to where I can click on these games. Now, one other one that I wanted to show you is this right here, called Bubble Count. Bubble Count. Before I do, let me just say, if you try others aside from the ones we're doing, that's okay. If you have an adult with you, they may be able to pretty easily tell, oh, this would be just right for you, or this might be a little too tricky, but this bubble count right here, I know is going to be good. So let's give that one a click. And again, I have to make that choice if I'm on a computer with a mouse or trackpad or a touch screen. So I'm going to click mouse, and let's see what I have to do. It says, how high can you count? And I could either choose between counting bubbles or finding a certain number. I'm going to try counting the bubbles. So, alright, so if I look at this screen, it says pop 4 bubbles. It wants me to pop 4 by moving my mouse around and clicking on them to pop them. So if I count as I go, 1, 2, 3, that's not enough yet. I don't want to press my check button. 4. Oh, should I go any more? Well, let's see what happens if I did. If I didn't have the right number, I just clicked on 5. Let's see what happens. It says, oh,
too many. Let's try that again.
Now it wants 4 bubbles, and let me do the right number this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now that I did the right number, 4 bubbles, and press my check mark, it says, that's it, and I get 1 filled in up here, where I can try to fill in all the rest of them. Now it wants me to pop 3 bubbles. 1, 2, 3, check.
Pop 4.
Pop 4 bubbles. 1, 2, 3, 4, check. And last one, let's see if I can do it.
Bubbles.
Oh, only 2 bubbles. 1, 2, check. That's it, and I did it. I cleared that level. So I get to pick a little reward here, and I like this fish right here. So now he is in my tank swimming around, and I get to see him. And you could keep going with that if you want. Now, I cannot go and show you every game that this website has. The reason why, you would get very bored, right? Just watching me play games. But you can try a couple of them, as this is a site that we would go to once in a while. And every time we have computer class on Wednesday, we see either a site that we've done before and we want to do a little extra practice on it, or a brand new website that's really great for kindergartners to use to practice using the computer, or practice the computer along with something like math, letters, shapes, numbers. So this Room Recess site is really, really great. Before we stop for today, I'm going to very quickly point out one other thing. If I go back to Weymouth Portal, where we've seen before, and to a website we've seen before called ABCia, this site, even though we've used it, we're never going to see every single thing that this site has, because there's so many things. But it's another great choice for you in kindergarten, or if mom and dad are looking for somewhere for you to go and try things out on the computer and use the computer on your own. And I'm going to show you, because it just became October last week, and the next holiday that's coming up in just a few more weeks is Halloween, that if you wanted to, you could go on here for just something fun to do and do something with a pumpkin or a jack-o'-lantern. And I'm going to show you by clicking on K right here, grade K. Now this one's a little tricky because it says pre-K, but I want to click on grade K right here, this yellow planet. And then it has them separated into categories. Now, I could use my wheel and just start looking down. That's a lot to look at. But it has them separated into categories, and if I click on holiday, there are a couple of holiday things related to Halloween and pumpkins and jack-o'-lantern. There's one right here that's carving a pumpkin, and one right here that's making a pumpkin. This one, you click and draw with your mouse to draw in shapes, and it carves them out of the pumpkin like you might do if you're making a jack-o'-lantern. And this one uses more like stickers and different choices you could make to make that pumpkin your own. And with either one of them, you could make a really awesome jack-o'-lantern and save that picture, or print that picture out, or show it to somebody at home. Alright, so if you have time and for something fun to do, you could definitely go on there and try one of those activities too. Okay, kindergarten, I hope you have a great day. I hope you thank somebody if they've helped you today and are helping you do a little bit of this computer class learning at home, and I will see you next week.